Oh, yep.
Okay. Okay, good. We're good then.
Okay, may cut you.
By Mr. Classic, we did the last one. I know.
That's why. That's why
Classic.
sometimes.
Okay. Color Mike.
No worries. Oh, good. By the way, I'm going to send this out. Yeah. So everybody going to have this stuff and we're all going to do homework. We have to do homework. And if at any time during this Papa Kanawai, inaali ho umaupupuno, yeah, hapai kanima, or just ninao akumai. Just say, hey, kalamai, come on. But I don't understand that one part. But all of this is pretty straightforward. Okay, everybody ready? Makakao.
Hi.
Kamaha no, yeah, sometimes. Kamaha no kamea. Aali ho umaupupuno. Na mau kaulelo kawakahiko, kaulelo o kalahui Hawaii. You know, we don't, it's sad because we don't understand the language of our kupuna. We don't understand the language of the nation. And this is how they entrap us, guys. This is how they went, snare the people of Hawaii. But Huipono has discovered some powerful truths that have, provided some liberation to some degrees. It's emboldened us, it's strengthened us, it's encouraged us. And so because these laws still exist, the county, the state, the communities, they all got to acknowledge. Yeah. But they cannot acknowledge the things they are ignorant about. And I have found that when I share this kind of ikipuno with the public, some get makau. Some, they like do something to help because they don't want to be the problem to the solution. They want to be the solution to the problem. And this is part of it. Okay. So follow along with me. Tell me if you can or cannot see what I am doing. I'm right now, I'm going onto my internet. Everybody see that? Okay, that's why. Stop the share. And this is really for the benefit of all of us together, because I want you to see what I'm doing. If this is important enough to you, where you make e ho'opuka no ka oyaiko, ka ike oyaiko, if you want to go and discover the truth, gotta dig, gotta look, gotta na. Yeah. Ask, you find. Look, no. Ask, you receive. Look, you find. Knock, open. So reverse is true. No knock, no open. No ask, no receive. If you no look, you're not gonna find. Okay. Try share screen again. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to type in one word. What does that word mean? Yeah, what does kumukanawai mean?
The law? No.
Well, what is the word kumu?
Oh, well, teacher.
Teacher. In this case, it is the source. So all teachers are considered the source of the ike the hamana is about to receive. So we use the word kumu. You know, now a lot of the schools are using the word kumu for their teachers, whether they're Hawaiian or Haole. Kumu Smith, Kumu Spitalski. You know, these are not Hawaiian names, but these are Hawaiian kumu. Kumu Kanawai. Kanawai means law. So kumu, kanawai, put together is the source and law. So it's the Constitution. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys something that many of you maybe have probably forgotten or seen at one time or another. So I mean, getting into my my Gmail, because I'm going to pull up something. Okay, come on. Oh, Calamine, somebody interrupted my transmission. Stand by. One of the things that I've been working on is really looking for all of the material that we as Huipono have been working on. So I'm going to pull this Kumu Kanawai. Everybody see, yeah? Okay, before I even play that, everybody see, I'm on the page now where I have an audio file in front of me. You guys can see that.
I
I want to make sure you guys can hear it. Let me know if you can hear. I'm going to turn the volume all the way up. Oh, hey, can hear.
No.
Aole.
Okay. There's a way to share the sound.
But you didn't hit play, that's why.
I did, but there's a sound feature over here. Hold on, because I want everybody to hear this. This is pretty cool. Okay, you are screen sharing. Okay, color mine. There it is. Share sound. Check this out, guys. This is Kumu Kanawai, Ika Olela Hawaii.
Iwai no ko Hawaii I nei pae aina, na kamehameha e kolu I kau. Honolulu, makahiki umikuma walu, kana kolu kuma iwa.
You guys get them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kumu kāna wai, no ko Hawaii I nei pae aina. Ua hana mai ke akua I nā lāhui kānaka apau I ke koko ho'okahi. E noho like lākou ma ka honua nei me ke kui kahi a me ka pō mai kai. Ua haawi mai no ke akua I ke kahi mau waiwai like no nā kānaka apau me nā lii apau o nā aina apau loa. E ia ke kahi mau waiwai ana I haawi like mai ai I ke lā kanaka ke ia kanaka. I ke lā lii ke ia lii. O ke ola, o nā lā o ke kino, o ka noho ho'opaa ole ia, a me ke kea ole ia, o nā mea a kona lima I hana ai, a me nā mea a kona mana au I ho'oponopono ai. Nā ke akua mai no hoi ka oi hana alii, a me ka noho alii ana I mea e malu ai. A kā, I ka hana ana I nā kāna wai o ka aina, a ole pono e hana ia ke kahi kāna wai ho'omalu alii wale no, a ho'omalu ole I nā maka ainana. A ole hoi pono ke kau I ke kāna wai ho'owaiwai I nā alii wale no, a waiwai ole nā maka ainana. A mahope aku nei, a ole loa e kau ia ke kahi kāna wai ku e I ke ia mau olelo I olelo ia māluna. A ole hoi e auhau wale ia. A ole ho o kaua ia. A ole ho o hana wale ia ke kahi kanaka ma ke ano ku e I ua mau olelo la. No laila e ho olaha ia kuai ke ia olelo. I mea ho o malu like I nā kānaka a pau a me nā li a pau o ke ia pae aina. I ke a ole ai ke kahi ali I ke kahi o nā maka ainana. I like ho I ka malu o nā li a me nā kānaka malalo o ke kāna wai ho o kahi. Ua ho o malu ia ke kino o nā kānaka a pau, a me ko lākou aina, a me ko lākou mau pāhale, a me ko lākou waiwai a pau, a ole ho I e lawe ia ke kahi mea, ke olelo ole ia ke la mea ma ke kāna wai. O ke alii e hana I ke kahi mea ku e I ke ia kumu kāna wai, e pau kona noho alii ana ma ke ia pae aina o Hawaii I nei. Ke ho o mau ia mālaila, pēlā nā kia aina, a me nā luna, a me nā konohiki a pau.
Any questions? Okay. Since no more questions, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah. No, I was looking to see who was still on. See, we lost Johanna, but anyway, so you were talking about Olelo. I know this is the Kumukanova of 1839.
All right.
So you were talking about how important it is to know the Olelo and what is being said, what is being conveyed. But you never say how, when it transferred to English, and I mean, it's just as beautiful in English, the wording, but being that, I'm not ma'a to the full language, and you are, when you read it in English and listen to this person speak it, how much of a difference are we looking at in as far as translation? I mean, because it's not only the words that but that Ike and that, the Mana'o, and of course what is that? What is being conveyed, the feelings and everything. Okay, that was, if you can kind of share with us. I don't know if that was clear.
Yeah, Johanna is just coming in right now.
Sorry, my phone died. Yeah, my phone died.
Oh, you missed the audio. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys through the steps so you can find this resource. It's important. Johanna is always good about teaching me by saying, don't forget, you can either fish for the Kanaka or you can teach them how to fish. Which one is better? So I'm going to go through the steps. By the way, can you guys see the screen, the share?
Ole.
Ole.
Not yet.
Here we go. So what you
Got
just
it.
heard, this is, yeah. So we're going to go through this and ha'ido olelo. And we'll start with Kani. Kani, make wau e helu helu no e ka puuku ho'okahi. Ua hana mai ki a kua. Pa.
Okay. Wahana mai ke akua i nā lahui kanaka a pau i ke koko ho'okahi. E noho like lāko mā ka honua nei me ke kuikahi. Me ka pōmaikai ua ha'awi mai no ke akua i ke kahi mau vai like. No nā kanaka a pau. Me nā ali'i a pau o nā āina a pau loa.
Okay, maikai. Jocelyn, helu helu pauku elua.
Mahalo. Eia kekahi mau vai ana I haawi like mai ai I ke la kanaka keia kanaka I ke la ali'i keia ali'i. O ke ola o nā la o ke kino. O ka noho ho'opa'a ole ia a me ke ole ia o nā mea a kona lima I hana ai. A me nā mea a kona mana'o I ho'oponopono ai.
This pauku is so shaka awesome. I would encourage everybody to ho'oma'ama this pauku too. This is so shaka ono. Okay, e ho'omau. Johanna ke olu. Helu helu pauku e kolu. Ai.
Nā ke akua mai no ho'u ka oi hana ai. A me ka noho ali'i ana I mea e malu ai. Ka I ka hana ana I na kanawai o ka aina. A ole pono e hana ia ke kahi kanawai ho'o malu ali'i wale no. A ho'o malu ole I na maka aina na. A ole ho'o pono ke kau I ke kanawai vai. E na ali'i wale no. A vai ole na maka aina na. A mā hoke aku me. A ole loa a e kau ia ke kahi kanawai. E ke da mau ole. I ole lo ia mau. A ole ho'o e au hau wale. E au hau wale ia. A ole e ho'o kaua. A ole e ho'o hana wale ia. Ke kahi kana me ka ano ku e mau ole le.
Maikai, mahalo. Pauku e ha. Harry, hiki, helu pauku e ha.
He went into the house. He's checking on something.
Okay, how about Scott? Or Ui? Okay, let's see. How about who is HJ?
Junior, this is Harry. Kalamai, Aina today, but I have everybody who's here listening and watching at the same time.
Wow, okay, Maikai, kupaya na ha.
I think they're sketchy. I think
Yeah,
the
the signal is not really that good, but that's all right. Okay, kalamai, e helu helu no au. Pauku e ha. No laila e ho'olaha ia aku ai ke ia o lelo. I mea ho'omalu like nā kanaka a pau, a me nā li'i a pau o ke ia paiaina. I ke ake a ole ai ke kahi a li'i, ke kahi o nā maka aina nā. I ke ho'i ka malu o nā li'i, a me nā kanaka malalo o ka kanawai ho'okahi. Can we get, okay, Connie, since you started us off, you can finish off this hello, hello. E hello, hello, pauku e lima. Kia olo.
Okay. Ua ho'omalu malu ia ke kino o nā kanaka a pau. A me ko lako aina. A me ko lako mau pahale. A me ko lako vai a pau. Ole hoi e lave ia ke kahi mea. Ke olelo, excuse me. Olelo ole ia ke ia mea ma ka kanawai. O ke ali'i e hana i ke kahi me ku i ke ia kumu kanawai. E pau kona noho ali'i ana ma ke ia pai aina o Hawaii nei. Ke ho'omau ia ma laila. Pela nā kia aina. E me nā luna, e me nā konohiki a pau.
Yeah. Questions? Anybody? Any question? Ask.
Yeah, so going back to my question I asked you earlier. So how much of a difference is in the translation from Olelo Hawaii to English? I mean, you have to give, just wanted to know what you see as how much of a difference in translation when conveying the, from what our language is conveying and how it's being conveyed in the English. How much difference do you see? What effect do you see with that?
Imalo, good question. Anybody else?
I have something to say to that I'm slowly learning from another source or kumu here at my Halepule about translation from Olelo to Poehaole. For when the time is right, but you know, I yield to the kumu here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joss. Share. Mahele mai.
So I'm having a bit of an enlightenment and understanding of our language, and it's not to say it does not have, but it's almost as if it when it's translated into English into Poehaole, it's kind of like a dead writing. And the reason why I say dead writing, you hear people say something about that our language is a living language. But what was described to me was, if you was to imagine this language has no nouns. In other words, it doesn't have like an end to the word. It has life to the word, it has movement to the word, it has intent to the word. So it's more of a verb, it's more of a movement. Not even your name is a noun. It's an intention of enlightenment of purpose. And so when we translate it into what they can understand it to be, then it reduces it. As opposed to if we was to, it's almost like when we were studying in the law library and I read a couple of pages and I would go to Johanna and say, oh my gosh, I saw da 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 da, and I'm blurting all this stuff that I felt I read, and she goes, it doesn't say that. And over time, as we read it again and again and again, and got the actual feel of what was being said, it became evident that it was more than what was on paper. And I think that's how our language is. It produces more than it would if it was reduced to that type of vocabulary and structure. The vocabulary and structure restricts it from its full intent. Why am I not?
Apologize. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to, well, it was a question before because first time I went through this, I didn't I just didn't understand Hawaiian. And I could see the translation and I could sort of compare the two and think, okay, yeah, it's saying this. But then what started to make me wonder was I started to look for certain words. Okay, how do they say freedom in Hawaiian, for instance? And I found that when you look at the Hawaiian word, it's like that word aloha. I'm sure everybody's had the chance to, and a time when someone has actually explained to me what the meaning of aloha is. And if it's somebody just meeting casually, it's a very superficial explanation. But when someone wants to know if it's more than that, you almost don't have words for what you understand, and you cannot convey what aloha is. And I think that's what we're missing. That's what we're finding in the language as we start to learn the language, that there's a depth to this that cannot be communicated on paper. So you have to look at it a little bit differently. Then as you start to tie all those words in, you start to realize how deeply they felt about things. And you start, I don't know, for me, there was one word in all of this that made this thing really come alive for me. And that was that noho pa'aole, freedom. If you think about it, it was such a conundrum for me. But then once I figured it out, I said, wow, that is a huge, that was such a great way to explain those things or define those things that we sometimes have a hard time articulating. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, if you guys look in the chat, I'm also putting the pauku, ho'okahi pahuku elua, and that mana'o, that noho ho'opa'aole. Yeah. Pretty cool. Any other questions?
Jana, turn off your mic.
Everybody good? Because now we're going to really start getting into this this kumu kanawai, and I think you guys are already at the point of understanding no keaha e hana no kākou I keia manawa e helu helu kaulela hoi. So the idea in this part of the program, my presentation, is get everybody to acknowledge we need to learn the Olelo. Because so much of Navai, Wakaka Yamai, I Kaulelo Hawaii, He Ike Hawaii, He Oyai o Hawaii. I know I loko Ike Kumukanavai. So that said, let me go back to the share. And yeah, please ask. If you guys not ask, you know, get. Okay, go ahead. Josh, ke olo olo, make vau e helu helu ka olelo enelani o ke kumu kanawai. Pauku, Article 1.
Mahalo. God had made of one blood all nations of men to dwell on the earth in unity and blessedness. God has also bestowed certain rights alike on all men and all chiefs and all people of all lands.
So what is the first poke we learn? What do we learn from the first poke?
That God is in charge of the nation.
This is taken from the Kumukanawai that was written with Kawikia Uli, David Malo, all these other scholars, right, that started to learn how to write. The first pauku is Wahanamai ke Akua. They acknowledge Akua. Wahanamai ke Akua nalahui kanaka pau I ke kokoho o kahi. And noho like la ko. Yeah. What is the second thing we learn from pauku 1?
Aloha, this is Lala. So, Kalamai, I was just wondering if you guys recording, if you can record, please. Mahalo.
Yeah, it's recording, sister. So you guys will be able to go back and look at it. So the thing we learn from pauku 1 is that God is acknowledged first. That's the cornerstone.
Right.
The second thing we learn is what? Just look at pauku 1. What is the second thing we learn?
Then.
It's like that old saying, you know, our kupuna would say, all time same, same.
So is it kind of, yeah, like what Auntie just said, it's kind of like we, same, we equal.
Who's
Right?
equal?
Oh yeah. Equal, there's a man, the chief and the man.
Yeah. Kani?
Chief and the man.
Do the chief have rights that man no have? Does man have rights that the chief no have? Same. Yeah. Helike no. Helike no. Ua hawe mai ke akua. Na kanawai like. Same rights. The chief not have the right to live and the maka'aina not have the right to die. They all have the right to live. So we're going to look at pauku 2. Here are their rights. Kani, ke olu olu e helu helu no pauku 2. These are some.
Okay. These are some of the rights which he has given alike to every man and every chief of correct deportment. Life, limb, liberty, freedom from oppression, the earnings of his hands, and the production of his mind, not, however, to those who act in violation of the law.
The right to life, limb, liberty, freedom from oppression, the earning of his hands, and the productions of his mind. That's pretty cool. So think about some of the rights you have, or you think you have, that you've never considered before. What are some of the rights you have that aren't mentioned in this poku?
Speech.
Think about that word,
Right.
ho'onoho'opa'ole.
Rights to freedom.
Freedom, yeah. What else?
Mama, can I watch something?
Ted.
Hey, Dad.
Well, Todd.
I think I
No,
John,
I'm.
I think the mic is on.
I can't.
The mic next
Hey,
on.
why? You get him on a charger? You better best put him on a charger.
Anybody else?
Liberty. Freedom from oppression.
Here's a question. Here's a question. I'm thinking about rights. Do you have the right
The right
to water?
to whatever earnings.
Do you have the right to water?
Aye.
Yeah, we all said yes.
Do you have the right to go fishing?
Yes.
Everybody said aye.
Do you have the right to move to your ancestors' land and occupy it?
No.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have one no and choke yes.
One no, sure, yes. Sorry.
No, I know you. You're the needle in this whole thing.
Put him in the corner of the class.
Yeah. Well, what does that mean then? Think about it. If we are talking about the Kanawai Kohoi Paina, the Kanawai was established to protect what?
Harry said the rights of the people.
Yeah, the rights of the people. You have rights. Okay, so remember the incident involving Kalekoa and what's the name of the judge? Kobayashi. Did Kalekoa have the right to Olela Hawaii?
Yeah.
Aye.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Did Judge Kobayashi have the right to issue a bench warrant for his arrest for speaking Hawaiian?
No.
So we learned from that. So we learned from that incident that really what put Judge Kobayashi in trouble was he started to exercise an authority he did not have. He demonstrated to the public that the system is rigged against the Kanaka Maoli because they cannot even speak their own language in their own country. Yet the law says that the two official languages for Hawaii is English and Hawaiian. Aka, how come we got those two laws and 1.4 million people living in Hawaii, only 2% can olela Hawaii. The system is rigged against the 2%. So that is why it becomes incumbent upon us as the ho'ilina of the Kupuna Kawakaiko, as the descendants. We need to preserve the Olelo Hawaii because our rights are found in our Olelo, found in our language. Make sense? Let's go ahead and read further. Kalamai, any questions? No questions? Okay. Johanna, kiolo olu. Hoi, helo helo no pauku e kolu.
God has established, God has also established government and rules for the purpose of peace. But in making laws for the nation, it is by no means proper to enact laws for the protection of the rulers only, without also providing protection for their subjects. Neither is it proper to enact laws to enrich the chiefs only, without regard to enriching their subjects also. And hereafter, there shall by no means be any laws enacted which are at variance with what is above expressed. Neither shall any tax be assessed. Oh, I like that. Nor any service or labor required of any man in a manner which is at variance with the above sentiment.
Micah, mahalo. Okay, Jocelyn, what do you think that is saying?
Again, as the old folks say, we are same. You not one above the other because there's only one creator. And so if you assume the responsibility of, I guess, government and peacemaker and lawmaker, that you do it in a manner that is pleasing unto him, which is to serve the people, not yourself.
Chaka. I'm going to bring up an incident involving Kani. And I want Kani to share this. He was served papers to make an appearance in court. And then he, we happened to be eating at the Tasty Crust, yeah, Kani. And then he showed me his paperwork. He said, "I like you look at this. Tell me what you think." So I looked at the summons, and then I told him, "Bro, if I was you, I don't go court." And he go, "Why?" I go, "Look at that thing again." So Kani, tell him, give him a background. This is relevant. This is a real incident, a real case, and Kani has the whole mo'olelo. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, to make a short story longer. So I several years ago, my daughter had a dog and it ran away, and then they got picked up. So we went to get the dog, and anyway, she brought it to our place. She was living in Kaului at the time, but she brought it to our place, and we were taking care of it. And so later on, we get a visit. Because of that, she had to retrieve the dog back. We got a visit from the Humane Society. I mean, the county, dog catcher. And they came out to our property and they were following up. Is that me? They were following up.
It's in that incident with the dog catcher coming down to the house and not wanting to get off the property.
Yeah, so they came down to check on the dog, and I told them the dog is here, and I was wondering why they were there. And basically after our conversation, I didn't like where the conversation was going. I said, "Don't get off my property." And he said, "Well, you have the dog, you have the right." I said, "No, you don't." I said, "You don't have a right to be here anyway." So they were, I think at the time, they started writing down, I noticed that they were writing down my license plate. And I told the lady, you cannot do that. That's illegal. I said, you cannot take any information I'm not giving up freely. And you weren't invited onto my property. So anyway, you know, I told them I want it back, but they ran away. Anyway, I went to go call the police and they ran away. So anyway, later on I get contacted that that they were gonna, you know, give me the police department wanted to serve me with papers. So I knew the police officer. I went and met him down on the main road. And then basically they served me a summons, being a complaint from that dog catcher or whatever. And I didn't realize this. I just took it. I didn't care, whatever. I took it and then started looking at it. And then I think we met up with Wilmot one day at Tasty Grouse. And I told him to actually look at it. And it was basically, that's what he told me, you know, I no go. But, you know, I was going to go, well, yeah, but shouldn't I go? I mean, I have to go, right? Otherwise, they're going to violate me. So, but then we kind of pointed out on the paper that the name was incorrect. It wasn't spelled correctly. It wasn't addressed. Basically, the name that they had wasn't my correct name. By right, if they're going to violate you, they need to actually and give you the paperwork that has to be correct all the way through, because it's a formal official document, and any type of error in it actually makes that document null and void. So I said, I did go. So I mean, I was going, oh, okay, look, but I still showed up because I wanted to make sure that I could give that information to the judge. So basically I did. And then I basically told him that it's not me, because, you know, it's not my name. Nobody calls me this, and I don't go by this name. And so, you know, with that being said, the clerk took my paper and I basically left, not taking the paper back. So what happens is, well, actually the prosecutor takes it and then gives it to the clerk. So now they took the responsibility of the document. It wasn't in my hands anymore. So I need to reverse back to them. So I left the place and I never went back. And I think, so the end to the story was, I went to court for something else. And then it was a charge I was given. In an incident with Mr. Kululoyo. Anyway, so they brought it up, but they dismissed it because it was too old already. But see, if I had gone through that, you know, I would have probably been prosecuted or whatever. So by not going and letting it pass, time ran out. According to the judge, it's too old, and so they dismissed it. So, but they never warrant anything. So, yeah, that's that story.
Okay, so my question is, whose rights were violated and how? And what was the appropriate response?
Is that
Okay,
for
let's
me?
start with question number one. Let's start with question number one. Whose rights were violated?
Canes.
Okay, how?
Wasn't him. And well, they went on his property
Yeah,
without permission. I mean, that's his property.
yeah. That's it. Keep going.
And because they did so, and went on the property, everything else that comes from it is already negated because it was wrong to begin with. So the name that they placed onto on the paperwork was not legally connected to Canes. So it's somebody that they just put together and it's wrong. It was wrong.
Mahalo. You know, that's a really important point. So how many times you guys find yourself in this position, or you know somebody who has wrong name, wrong identity? Connie's lesson last week about identity should already tell you who you really are. Because once you come to an understanding of what your identity is, then you can draw the boundaries about whether or not this foreign state has the authority to encroach or infringe, basically to violate Paukutu. But if you don't know Paukutu, you don't know what they're violating. See the term freedom from oppression? They are the oppressors when they think they can encroach on your property without your consent or your permission to do so. They are your oppressors when they think they can serve you a piece of paper, call you into court, and that's not even you. The only reason why I counseled Kani was because I looked at the summons and the summons was not addressed to him. So small kind correction. It's not that they spelt his name wrong. They spelt the name correctly, but it wasn't his name, and therefore it wasn't his identity. So I told him if it was me, I wouldn't show up. And he said, why not? I said, because they're going to spend all day looking for this guy. He don't even exists. And he would have even more cause to file a lawsuit against him, harassment, because he is Kani Loa, and he's not Mr. Kane Loa.
Wait, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, no, again, they never spell him wrong. They spelled Kane Loa. They were looking for Mr. Kane Loa. They're not looking for Kane Loa.
They were missing the right name.
So that's just one more piece of how this system is really flawed. And if we're ignorant of its flaws, they're going to get us all the time because we think they can. We cannot afford to be Naopo anymore. Okay.
I have a question on that pauku. You know the part where it talks about the first sentence where it says, these are some of the rights which are given to everyone and every chief of correct deportment. What is that? You know, that phrase right there is starting to jump out at me. These are the rights if you are of correct deportment.
Yeah, what does that say?
You
I have
have
no
these-
idea what deportment is. Now, to me, deportment is when you be deporting from the country or something.
I'm guessing too that it has something to do with, and it's interesting they use that word, but I'd like to see what that word is in Hawaiian. But for English, deportment would probably be something like acting properly. So if you're acting correctly, then you have the rights to all of those things. Is that right?
Keali'i no Ikela keali'i no hopono.
Huh.
They just use no hopono.
I know. Why did they use deportment?
But so there's a good real application to Kani's question earlier about the difference. We're not going to say correct deportment.
Exactly.
Pono is very clear.
For us, it is.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So
So
it
if
doesn't matter. And here's the other piece too. It really doesn't matter to me if you, Mr. Judge, Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Mayor, if you are totally na'aupo Because your na'aupo does not constitute the license or the right to encroach or infringe upon my rights. If I know what nohopono is and you don't, that's not my kuleana. You cannot exercise any kind of authority over me out of ignorance, because now you become a threat to the rights that are declared protected by law, by the Kumukanawai.
Exist in Pono. To exist in Pono. To be living Pono.
Aye,
No. Oh, okay, I got it.
good
And-
question. Good
and
catch.
It's not a noun, it's a verb. That's what I'm learning. It's intention, its purpose, its action.
Yeah, it's living, it's breathing, it's vibrating. Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions on Mana'o?
Yeah, one more, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Realize this only pertains, these rights exist for those who are existing, living correctly. Does that mean it doesn't exist for those who are not living correctly?
Question: who gave us the rights?
God gave us all
Yeah,
rights
God gave the rights. Who did he give the rights to?
to all men.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And I think you, oh, sorry, can I make a comment?
Aye.
I know, and that's the discrepancy of not truly understanding what you have. And it's because what the difference you see between a very two different types of governance.
Yes.
And that's important to understand that when you look at our Kumukanawai for our governance, it is very people oriented and very clear. There is no underlying, where you have to go get somebody more intelligent than you that studies a lot to understand what the loopholes are. There are none. It's very clear and precise. Whereas when you deal with the governance of today with the Haole way of doing it, you get all these underlying there's differences. You can find loopholes, and it's made on purpose because what I see is more about capitalism and being able to use your money to get somebody more educated to help you to get off.
Hello, anybody else? Okay, so let's see. Johanna, you already read 3. Harry, can you read number 4, please? Keololu.
Harry Brown.
Harry, oh yeah.
Number 4, it says, protection for the people declared. The above sentiments are hereby published for the purpose of protecting alike both the people and the chiefs of all these islands, while they maintain a correct deportment, that no chief may be able to suppress any subject. Oops, hang on, what happened?
Getting into actually. Wait, okay.
But that chiefs and people may enjoy the same protection under one and the same law. Number 4, yeah?
Yeah, very good. Mahalo.
Press the screen.
So let me ask a question. Does the mayor or the judge or the governor, do they have more rights than you?
They like to think they do.
they have an accountability. Their accountability is greater. But they don't have more authority. They don't have more rights. The rights are the same all the way across the board. Again, Keakua gave those rights to man. Right, man derives his rights from Akua. Akua gives rights to man. Man has to live pursuant to those rights granted to him by Akua. If at any time man is non-compliant, then he has violated the rights granted to him. That goes all the way up to the top. So regardless of whether or not they think they have more rights, they don't. They have some measured authority, that's it. But it depends on what law that authority is derived from. Case in point, in 2009, when we went to share testimony about the proposal to impose a Kuleana land tax, it was Connie that declared before the county council that they had to really take a look at the law that created Kuleana lands in the first place before they can impose a tax, because the taxing authority that could be put on Kuleana laws were the laws that created in the first place. In other words, basically, Connie was forcing their hand to go and consult the law. They had to go take a look at the law of 1850. If the law of 1850 created Kuleana lands, then they had to see if that law gave them the taxing authority, and it didn't. But Connie would not have been able to argue that successfully or present that case if he didn't know the law existed. So my question for you is, for everybody in this class is, how do you know that law exists? Anybody know what that law is?
I don't know what that law is.
Okay. Would you like to see the law?
I
Besides Uncle Harry, is there anybody else in this class that would like to see the law on Kuleana lands? It is known as the Kuleana Land Act. Okay.
I want to see it.
I'm going to share it with you right now. This is your law. Yeah, I cannot emphasize that enough. This is your law. All of you who are Kanaka Maoli, you ho'ilina no. You're a descendant, you're a Kanaka, you're Connie's favorite word, two favorite words in the law is ho'aina and maka'aina na. You are ho'aina, you are maka'aina na, Kanaka Maoli. This is your law. Okay, here we go. Let me go share this. Can see.
Yep.
Connie, read that for us, please.
Okay. It says Penal Code of the Hawaiian Island passed, excuse me, of the House of Nobles and Representatives. Oh, the other stuff is a little bit too small.
Okay, let me see if I can blow them up. Hold on.
Passed by the House of Nobles. I cannot see you gotta kind of pull up the bottom part a little bit more. Okay, on the 21st of June, AD 1850.
Right there, stop.
Okay.
Okay, so for the benefit of everybody in the classroom, this is the Penal Code of the Hawaiian Islands, yeah? 1850. Remember that. 1850 Penal Code, Hawaiian Islands. This was passed by the House of Nobles and Representatives. Your House of Nobles, your representatives. Okay, I'm gonna go fast forward. Let's see. Oh, shucks. This is another good one. The act relating to the registry of births, deaths, and marriages. Guys, Palapala Hanau, Palapala Male, Palapala Make. This is the law. Well, that's gotta save for another future class. There we go. Call my Johanna. Jocelyn, can you please just read the first paragraph, the act? Jocelyn, you muted.
Sorry. Okay. You want me to read
Yeah, just the first paragraph, an act.
an act confirming certain resolutions of the King and Privy Council passed on the 21st day of December, AD 1849, granting to the common people allodial titles for their own lands and house lots and certain other privileges.
So now you know this law exists and it is still alive today. How do we know it's still alive today? Because they refer to it in the Hawaii Revised Statutes. What is the Olelo Hawaii for common people?
The Makaainana.
Makaainana, yeah? So Makaainana are given allodial titles for their own lands, house lots. Thanks to the existence of this law, get choke lands out there belonging to the people. Since oh, there we go. Pauku 7. Can Connie, can you read 6 and 7? Oh, Kalama, I got to blow them up for you.
That's good. Oh, a little bit too big.
Yeah.
Well, Adam was good.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see. So 6 and 7, yeah?
Aye.
Okay, in granting to the people their cultivated grounds or kalo lands, they shall only be entitled to what they have really cultivated and which lie in the form of cultivated lands, and not such as the people may have cultivated in different spots with the seeming intention of enlarging their lots, nor shall they be entitled to wastelands. When the landlords have taken allodial titles in their lands, the people on each of the lands shall not be deprived of the right to take firewood, house timber, aho kora, thatch, or kili, from the land on which they live for their own private use, should they need. Should they need them? But they shall not have a right to take such articles to sell for profit. They shall also inform the landlord or his or his agent and proceed with his consent. The people shall also have a right to drinking water and running water and the right of way, the springs of water and running water, and the roads shall be free to all, should they need them, or all lands granted in fee simple, provided this shall not be applicable to wells and watercourses which individuals have made for their own use.
Ini mana'o,
Can you put it back up again?
yeah.
While you put that up, I was gonna, I like participation, so I didn't wanna chime in too much, but the question was, and where do we find the law? Part of it was when you folks went to the county council with this Kuleana tax exempt, they had written the law into that writing. They quoted this law in there, which is what opened the doors for you folks to say what you have to say.
Pauku 7.
Focus. No, 6.
And by the way, for the benefit of the other people in the classroom, learn something about the way the county, they extracted this law. The county has no authority to extract this law for their own personal gain or benefit, right? Because this is a Hawaiian law. This law was born before the state was even Hanau. So they don't have the authority. They don't have the right. But when they extracted this, they went build their own trap. They got trapped because they should not have pulled this law to sustain the proposal for imposing a land tax. It just doesn't fit, doesn't make sense, and it was just another attempt by the county to encroach and infringe upon the protected rights of the Kanaka Maoli with regard to Kuleana land. Make sense? It makes sense to everybody? We want it to make sense because big things are coming. And it's not going to help you if you don't understand.
When I read that part where it says, they shall only be entitled to what they have really cultivated and which lie in the form of cultivated lands, and not such as the people may have cultivated in different spots, which is what we see today, yeah? Like, you just had a conversation with Johanna this morning about a project in their Vahi, and it's with a company from the different side of the island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Violation.
this is the law that gives you the right to put a stop to it.
I have a little question, sort of along the same line Jocelyn has. Because they're talking about only cultivated land, the land commission awards were based on only cultivated land, which makes me wonder about the land surrounding them. And the question I had was, well, it's not a question, it was what Uncle Clyde what Uncle Clyde told us one day when we were looking at the map for Waihe'e, and it showed all the land commission awards, but many were surrounded by open space. They were not included in any land commission award. And I asked him, I don't know if I asked him, he was just telling me that this there's a line between the what belongs to the Li'i and what belongs to the people. And it was sort of the Cane Hall Road was sort of a marker. And he said everything Mauka of that Cane Hall Road belonged to the Li'i, and everything below it belonged to the Kuleana. And I said, but there's still a lot of space not marked. He says all of that was still Kuleana land. Even though there's no land commission award, the idea was that when the time came and they wanted or they needed a place to plant more, with another family coming in, they could just set themselves up on that, find an empty space and do it. And that would be accepted. Of course, that was relegated to the residents of that area. And so when you talk about more land than we know of, the Land Commission awards were only, if it didn't cover the whole, if there's spaces around the Land Commission award, it's probably because they're still in an area that was set aside for Kuleana land, for the people to use. I don't know if that's a question or a statement, but I can only speak to that in Waihe'e. I don't know if it was everywhere else.
Okay, good. Kumana'o. Well, I'm going to end it right there. Are there any comments, remarks, questions, things you want to know, suggestions for improvement? Go ahead. I know get plenty questions right now. But mai hila hila mai hopo hopo. Ni nao mai.
I guess
Oh,
is that okay?
I understand up to a certain point, and I think that's because there's some things that I still don't know, and that might be another class. I look at the thing, there's a word in there that I just, I don't understand. Big word, allodio. I go, okay.
Yeah, good one. Good.
I can barely spell the word, but so when it's written inside there, I stuck already. I go, okay, it's there, but I don't understand. Anyway, it might be for a different class.
Good one. Good one. Mahalo. Anybody else? That's a good word to Uncle Harry, because it's in the Hawaii Revised Statutes. And that opens up a whole another 3-4 hours of kuka to get to a point of understanding. But it's a good word. Okay, if that's it, mahalo for everybody participating. I appreciate your time. I'll make sure I put all of these together and send it out to Connie so he can forward to all the haumana in the class. Back to you, Connie.
Oh,
We're eating.
wow. What's up with that?
See, you're supposed to be eating during the class when nobody looking at you, bro.
Yeah, nobody looking at me. Anyway, but yeah, So any comments? I know a lot of them are having issues with connection. And thank Kamanu, because we try not to take up everybody's day. It's Saturday, some of you, this is might be your only day off with your family and stuff. But before we go, we do have a few minutes. Maybe if I can ask if anybody have any comments. Like we know that Harry wants to know about the word allorio. And so, that's something we can put together. I know Jocelyn is going to be teaching her class on the lands. So I'm sure that's going to come up in Jocelyn's class, which will be in about 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I think her class will be on April. I think hers is April 16th. No, excuse me, 9th. So April 9th, she'll be doing that class on land, which will be a great class. And then of course, Johanna's class coming up on the 2nd. We'll also delve into that too. She's going to be dealing with some of those topics and the things. So, and then, but it is an important word. So if I take out the rest of the time, is there anybody else that has questions or wants to have clarity on?
Connie, could you maybe ask if, find out if it would have been good to have information ahead of time, like the documents ahead of time, or I don't know if maybe the information was too much or too little.
Okay. So, yeah, so if anybody wants to make a comment now, verbally, or if not, before we close the Zoom, if you guys want to type in or chat on the chat, what do you guys think? More clarification. If you guys want material ahead of time to be able to look at, or is what the process we're doing okay for you guys now? So if you're able to have clear Wi-Fi and are able to speak, please do so. So maybe I'll go and ask Cheryl Ann if there was any comment you'd like to make.
Oh, just mahalo, everybody. I'm just learning. I have property I wish to acquire back in our family. So, these classes have been so helpful. I get a lot of stress when I hear things, about going to court and having to deal with land issues. But being able to, be invited to this class and be amongst everybody that has actually walked the talk, and learn from them. I just really appreciate you so much. That's all I can say at this time. Thank you.
Mahalo. I don't know, is Scotty with you too?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get him. He's trying to work on the groove. Hold on 1 second. He
Oh,
was
never mind, that's good. No, call him
Oh, there
money.
he is. Come back.
Okay,
Just the thoughts.
Yeah, my manao is thank you very much for sharing what you guys You guys, Ike, knowledge and everything else. Spot, just spot for, for the future of where we stand, the situations that we stay now, yeah. But if we, you just gotta stay together as a Huyen, as a people of Maui, especially now. The days are coming, yeah. The days are there, but hey, thank you very much, Connie. Mahalo. Take care. Aloha
Yeah,
kea pua.
right on.
Stay gold, bro. Hey, mahalo, bro.
Mahalo, buddy. So I don't know if Lala guys, you want to attempt to make a comment, any comments or any uh, ideas of how we can maybe able to expedite the information or disseminate to you guys.
How was this meeting, okay?
Okay. All right. I know their area is spotty, so and then Harry.
Okay, for me, I think the information that's coming through on these sessions that we're having, they're great information. So I don't need to have any written things ahead of time because I will probably have too many questions anyway. So as it's been going through, the pertinent parts are brought forth so we can actually see. So I don't need it ahead. However, having said that, I think that when it's completed, there are certain written information like the laws and the all the things that we looked at. If there was a way that I could compile it and have it in a, I guess it might be on the computers that you can withdraw, but yeah, I need that kind of hard copy and stuff for me, and I'm willing to pay for the copies that needs to go to have it done. So I don't need it ahead of time of the lessons that are coming up, the information that's going to be presented. But I would like to have it at the completion if there's a way to do so. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, where am I? So Kamanu, okay, here we are. So if there isn't any other comments, if you guys want to, you guys have my email. If you guys have more questions or ideas on how we can make our classes more efficient, or if you do need, if you, unlike Harry, want to have stuff sent to you that you want to read, we can do that also. But certainly we will put together the information that we're giving out. But we do actually have them all printed. Just got to put them together in a way to be able to everybody can understand. But yeah, like questions like what Harry has. If you guys have those kind of questions, you guys think about them, and you're looking at stuff, and you guys want an answer, feel free to email me, and I'll make sure that the Kumos, the sources for the next two classes, will be able to help you understand. I can say that because I'm not gonna be the one.
Are we taking a break, Nick?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a break so that
This Saturday.
yeah, so that we don't like take up every Saturday morning. So but again, the next class will be on the 2nd of April, and then the last class for this series will be on the 9th. Yeah, and then we're gonna take a couple weeks break. Then we are gonna get together again and then put out the next 4 classes, a series of classes that we will bring up according to what information we gather from everybody in these discussions. So with that being said, we're good. We all good. If we can, I'm gonna ask Harry for fully for us, and then we'll end for the day.
Mahalo. Kulikako. Dear Father in heaven, we are so grateful and thankful that we have a privilege and opportunity to be able to not only discuss, but to understand and to go and to be enlightened in knowledge of those particular rights and information that is needful for us. We're thankful for those that have come together to run the course and put through all the information that we all need to have and we all desire to have. We pray that we may continue to be able to have a greater love and understanding and desire to continue to enlighten our wisdom and knowledge of those things pertaining to us as a people, as a Hawaiian. We thank you again for all that have participated all the way. Pray for thy guidance, pray for thy spirit, pray for thy help throughout this coming week in preparation as we continue to prepare for the coming lessons. We thank thee and pray in gratitude in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
All right. Okay, everybody.
Mahalo for that, Harry.
Okay, Ahuyo,
Ahuyo, everybody. Thank you.
aloha.